Welcome back to the channel. We're out at our large greenhouse. We are taking advantage of a 50-degree day today. We've got lots going on in here. We were filling up our water, and while I was doing that, which was taking quite a while, I started trimming some of our pine trees because I wanted to propagate some more pine trees out, because we have a natural shelter of our pine trees basically surrounding the entire outside of this greenhouse, preventing a lot of wind damage and a lot of blowing snow piling up on the sides of our greenhouse. So what I want to do is propagate some of our pine trees out. I took a few cuttings today just to show everybody how I do this, when I do this, because this is a great way to get free plants that are a natural windbreak and a natural barrier, and they also provide a living fence your neighbors can't see through your pine trees. So I'm trying to fill out a few spots on our northern side to block a lot of northern wind and kind of create a microclimate on our southern side inside our yard here. So let's get right into this. So starting out here, I want to talk about the soil. We've got to amend our soil. I bought some soil so we can basically mulch this in and 50-50 with our natural soil, which is full of dead roots and rocks and a whole lot of sand. And we've got a lot of clay in our soil when we dig down deep enough. So this is really hard packing soil. And when it's wet, it's super thick and heavy and stagnated. So I want to loam that up and give it a nice fluff so we don't have our roots die and go stagnant in here. So when we're taking our pine tree cuttings, this is a white pine, we've taken and stripped down the bottom 3 inches to 2 inches here in order to clean this up, and we're going to stick this in our rooting medium of aloe vera. We took our aloe vera and basically pulverized it and mixed it in with a little bit of water, and we'll take our roots and just basically dip it in there like you would a normal rooting hormone, and this is all natural with no chemicals involved. The reason I'm using aloe vera is because it has antibacterial and antifungal properties, so it kills and stops all of the pathogens that would normally negate the root growth naturally on this pine cutting. So we're able to get the best of both worlds, naturally rooting these trees, and our aloe is also packed with nutrients, so it is an all-around good source of a rooting hormone, all naturally. So I want to show exactly what I'm doing. You can see my pond liner in here. I have dug a little trench at the bottom underneath my liner to allow water flow to run off on each side, and the other sides here are up pretty decently to the surface of the soil, so I'll be able to keep tag and keep mark of where that is. So when all of these root up, I will just be able to lift this up and gently remove all of my rooted cuttings without having to dig them up and having super long tap roots. I'm not going to leave these pine cuttings in here very long. I hope to get these rooted up within a month to 2 here, so this shouldn't take a whole lot of space, and I should be able to get multiple cuttings into here. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting all of my soil in here and basically mixing all of it in together. So here we are, we've mixed this up about 50-50 and really increased the value of our soil here and increased the water retention, but also increased the flowability of the water. This is not going to hold and stagnate like our normal soil would. So I want to throw some of these cuttings in the soil and water them in, and then show everybody how this looks after I'm done. So here's a full planted out bed. We've got some small cuttings, decently large cuttings. I just wanted to get this little bed in order. I may build a small rooting table in here just for rooting cuttings, but this is a quick and easy way to get this achieved and have a simple way to basically pull these out without damaging your roots, because if I let these go a little too long, they will just run along the edges of our tarp here, and I'll be able to pull this up all the same. I want to take note that all of these are healthy cuttings. We don't see any disease or any damage naturally, so the only damage that was done was the needles I took off or the cuts I made. So I dug this down about a foot, maybe a foot and a half at the very bottom, to level it out so I could get enough soil in there that I could fit my cuttings and hold moisture in the bottom without the sun drying it out too much. So this is a super easy way to get some free trees and an all natural rooting hormone that doubles as a plant food once your plants actually root up. I just want to thank everybody for watching these videos. I wanted to share this little update before I brought more updates. I had taken my solar heating box apart. I have to clean up the hose that's underneath the floor from that. Took all the bricks from that. I've got an absolute mess in here, but I was enjoying this 50-degree day. I was letting a bunch of air flow in and out and get some good air exchange. So the next time I bring an update for everybody in this greenhouse, I should have everything ready to go to get this John Payne composting system in order so I can have heat for the next month and a half till spring really hits and we don't have to worry about keeping our plants from freezing anymore.